Okay, okay, okay. मैले पत्याएँ हुन सक्छ. Okay, that's good. That's so decent of you that you are joining the online class with such difficulties and problems. No problem. We too have such problems at times. There are so many teachers who are also taking classes using data pack. I know people who are outside Valley who don't have good internet access, but still they are also conducting online classes. Uh, this is the situation, a new kind of problem, but let's react in a different manner. Just understand that it's everyone's problem, not my problem, not your problem. It's the problem of the whole country, whole world. It's the pandemic is spread out throughout the world. Okay, no problem. It's a time to learn. We save our time. Had we been to school, we have to wake up early in the morning and run for the bus stop and be in the school for so many hours, 8, 9 hours, and returning to home. That time has been saved. All right. So think positively. Okay, let's continue. Our chapter about computer system. Computer system. Now, before I start, I want to ask a few questions. Okay, Mr. Devin Darlani. Devin, okay, please tell us what is the meaning of computer. This was there in our first lesson. Does anybody wants to answer voluntarily? You can raise your hand. You can speak up yourself. Apeksha, Tsunami. I'll call your name again and again until you don't switch on your camera. Okay, Aditi. Okay, I guess Aditi will answer. La. Aditi, bonus. La. Okay, Prasim will certainly answer. He's a good boy. Prasim. His camera is on still. I'm asking him Prasim. Prasim Timsina, what is a computer? Please tell us.
So computer system.
Only
So
computer. Only computer. Just a second.
only
Hey, mic is
computer. A computer is an electronic machine
an electronic device.
which is
Electronic
which
machine.
is used what which is used to work various tasks at same time.
Okay, it is capable
There are
of
many,
performing several tasks. That's correct.
yes, sir, and in computer we can do various things like uh, computer in simple language. Computer is a thing which makes our work easier, like machines are.
Oh, you're copying answer from somebody. It's a
No,
machine.
sir.
Machine makes our work easier. No? Computer is an
Yes, sir.
electronic device which manipulates data electronically, right? It accepts input. Input can be anything, a number, a text, a picture, an audio clip, anything. Uh, it processes them and gives you another type of output, right? That's computer. Now I have another question. Our chapter, the top title of the lesson is computer system. Second question is now what is system? If you know these two terms, then we can combine it. That's how I go. Okay. Somebody, okay.
Sir, a system is a group of interrelated components.
Okay. Prasim, okay, we are the two people who are present in this room. Okay, the rest of the people, okay, they are not willing to participate. Okay, that's okay. Okay, whenever I speak now, I'll talk only to Prasim. Okay. Okay, Prasim, system refers to a group of components, like you said. Uh, when you have many components working together to achieve one particular goal, then it's called a system, right, Prasim? Right?
Yes, sir.
So maybe you have used this word, heard this word in other subjects, like in science. Maybe you talk about, you have discussed about the system like our respiratory system or the nervous system or many other system in our human body, right? Like for instance, let's when you discuss about the respiratory system, you talk about the ear. Am I correct? Ear,
No, sir. Nose, mouth.
nose. Okay, nose, mouth, lungs, the ear pipe, isn't it? They are the organs of our human body which will work together for the breathing purpose, isn't it, Satrasim? Right?
Yes, sir.
Then it's called the system. That's why. But in similarly, in a machine, in computer, There too, there are several components which are working together. Computer is not a machine; it's a system. There are several other machines which are working together for the computer to run smoothly. So in this lesson, we will be discussing about the same thing. The what are the components of the system? What does it comprise? Just like for example, just now I talked about nose and lungs in respiratory system. What is there in computer system now?
So
Basically,
hardware, software.
yes. Okay. Basically, when we discuss about computer system, there are two major parts. They are hardware and software. Like Prasim said, uh, if you consider different books, different writers, they will be mentioning them in different ways. It doesn't matter. Firstly, we can understand hardware and software. That's okay. We'll be discussing about these two topics in other lessons as well in detail. For now, right now, we can just understand this much that hardware are what is hardware person?
So hardware is the external component of a computer.
External. Uh,
Yes. Which are visible through our eyes and we can touch and feel.
okay, which are visible, which can be touched and felt. Those are the physical components, right? Touched
Yes,
ones,
sir.
like the webcam, isn't it? Like the
Yes,
keyboard,
sir.
anything. They are the hardware, physical parts of the computer which can be touched and seen. They are hardware. For now, this definition is enough. Then software.
Software,
Software are the
same like
parts of the
hardware, it is
computer
the
which
internal.
are soft when you touch, right? Like the mouse
Yes,
pad.
sir.
Yes.
No, sir. It is the internal component.
Okay, they are the programs installed in the computer, right? They are the instructions. They are the instructions which make the computer run. They are the commands which tell the computer how to perform any task, how to do, when to do, how to run the program smoothly, how to carry out the task correctly. Those are the software. We'll be discussing about software also, types of software in next lesson. We have a separate lesson for that. Similarly, apart from these two things, there are other things like uh, do you think computer can only operate with hardware and software? Is that enough?
No, sir.
What is
Power
missing? Okay,
also is required.
power also is essential. Okay, so as I told you in the beginning, depending upon writers, some writers they include this, some writers they don't. Okay, power, electricity is also necessary. It is also considered as a component, as a part of computer system by some writers. Similarly, still after electricity also supplied to computer, what is necessary now?
Sir, input is required. If you do not input, computer doesn't work by itself.
Uh, okay, then how does the computer get input?
Sir, by mouse, keyboard.
Message
Yes, somebody else spoke. Who was it apart from Prasim? Kole bole.
or
Okay, Srinkhala. Okay, okay, please go. Oh, Srinkhala, don't you have anything to say? I'm waiting for you to speak.
no sir, no sir,
Uh-huh.
I'm just telling. No, no sir, I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Uh, do you remember what was one of the drawback limitation of computer in the first lesson we discussed? I think I used this sentence before. So, computer is a dumb machine. It can do nothing on itself.
Yes, sir.
So, what is missing?
Sir, user.
User, exactly.
CPU,
Ah, users. Some people they have used. Let's say they have coined a new term called humanware, hardware, software, humanware. Okay, human beings, the users, we are also we are the master of computer. So unless the user doesn't type anything, the user doesn't enter anything, it doesn't give a command, it cannot do anything on itself, you know? So that is also considered one other component of the computer system. So right now in this lesson we have only two things. Luckily you don't have to discuss more about it. There is one more, okay, in some book, okay, I've seen called firmware, but some writers they include even me personally, I also think it's not necessary to use another word called firmware. Firmware also, does anyone know what is a firmware? Anyone ke bhane? Does Prasim knows?
No, sir.
No, okay. Except firmware are also kind of software. Firmware means software. No, they are the inbuilt softwares uh, which are there in a chip, ROM chip processor from the beginning before you install your system software or application software. Those instructions, those programs, software, they are known as the firmware. है ना? No matter what happens to your computer, like if your computer crashes, your hard disk crash like mine just 1 week ago. Arvind, how are you? Are you listening to me? Okay, firmwares are the instructions which does includes the instructions for basic task, basic operation of the computer. Like now, after the types components of the computer system, hardware and software definition is also over almost. What is hardware, what is software is done. Okay, right now up to now we have discussed what is computer software, and oh,
Yes, sir.
computer system, computer system. Then what is hardware? Then software, right? The other things, those are not very important. If good if you know, okay, it's good if you know. Now, the hardware parts of the computer, the hardware parts of the computer system, they can be also categorized into different groups. Major three groups. Four name on, no? You'll be in your book. You'll have three or four, depending upon it. First one is input device. Second one, the processor CPU.
Output device. Yes,
Output
sir.
device.
And
Fourth one क्या वाला है?
Storage.
Very good.
storage.
Without hours, it's not proceeding right now.
Yes, sir. Not me.
को बोलो, was it? Okay, good. Okay, anyway, storage is correct. Storage device, the fourth one. Okay. Ah, storage device, four hardware components. Now, the first one, input device, is simple. Input devices, you have discussed this since long time, right? Isn't it?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
uh, input devices like the keyboard, mouse, joystick, which helps you to input data, give instructions to the computer, is known as the input devices. Similarly, mm, the output devices are the hardware components of the computer which will help you to receive the output, get the results of processing, like the monitor or the printer and so on, right? Now after input and output, storage, let's say storage are the devices which has to store the data for long term, like the storage device like the hard disks, floppy disks, CDs, etc. Right? Oh, Mamta, are you
Yes.
understanding? बुझिरहेछौ? Yes त भन्न सक्छौ नि. Okay, no problem. Uh, Now the fourth one, the most important, CPU. CPU is the most important hardware of the computer, right? Craze,
Yes, sir.
Arogya, Assis, Devin, please switch on your camera. Other off nagane भन्दैछु त म. Chris, you have such a beautiful room. Okay, your nice T-shirt. Okay, I would compliment if you. कतिजना off भइसकेको छ. Okay, good, Arogya. Arogya and my walls color is same. Okay. Okay, no problem. So CPU, the CPU also comprises of different units now.
CU, MU, and ALU.
That's right. This is the most important part of the lesson. I'm telling you, this is the most important. Oh, there
Yes,
is a
sir.
figure as well. If you have seen the PDF file, uh,
Yes, sir.
that is called the computer architecture or the computer system. Computer system. Sometimes even if search for images about computer system, you might be finding this image, this particular image. Oh, this shows the working mechanism of the whole computer, everything. One human architecture, it's called one human architecture. Architecture भनेको design, होइन, layout design. So this picture depicts, okay, it shows how a computer works, how the computer system works, right? Where is my Prosim? Wait. Oh. Okay, there. Uh, Now here I'll show that figure. Just a moment. If possible, I think it's possible. Till now we have discussed like the CPU is the brain of the computer. CPU is the mastermind. CPU is the most important part of the computer. It controls all other peripheral devices. Right? Now, but still, CPU also has different units now. As Prasim said, three units: memory unit,
Control units,
honor unit.
memory unit, and arithmetic logical unit.
Yes. Now, uh, here the, the file, the file in your Midas class is this one. This figure, this is very important now. If you see this figure carefully, another most important thing to keep in mind is this one: control flow and data flow, right? So the flow of instruction, when the computer is running, the keyboard types something, it is entered to the CPU, it gets processes from the CPU, it comes to the output devices monitor. But how does it travel? There is another one term which is not here in this PDF file, that is called the bus. BUS, bus. It's the same spelling. Rasim, do you know what is bus?
Sir, bus where we ride, go
Not that
different
one, in
place.
computer terminology.
No, sir,
Oh, okay, if
not known
Prasim
till
doesn't
now.
know, I'll not ask anybody else. So bus is the pathways through which data and instructions travel in computer system within the CPU. Oh, we may also consider different cables. Also, some people there are, if you see the motherboard of the computer, you'll find it. Okay, you can see them. You know, they are, let's say, some are physical, some are, let's say, on different invisible. Let's say they are just in logical form. Mostly they are physical. Let's say. Now here it shows. First of all, let's see the CPUs. Within CPU, you have control unit, arithmetic logic unit, primary unit, primary memory unit, okay, primary storage unit, memory unit. Let's say memory unit, MU, na? The task of MU, by the name it says, okay, Suryans, Isabalami. What do you think is the work of MU?
Memory means, of course, storing. It might be
Sir,
memory, remembering.
memory
Sir,
Yes, memory means to
is
store, to remember. It has to store data in the computer, right? After
yes.
that, we have ALU. ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. That means by the name it can.
Processing. I think mean processing
Yeah,
area.
it is the calculator partner. It is the main processing. It actually performs computations again. Arithmetic calculation, logical distance. They are made by the ALU. Now, what is the work of this CU? Now, CU.
Control unit. Of course, in its name there is answer. Controlling everything.
Yeah, it's the controlling part, controlling main head. Actually, this is the head of the CPU as well. CPU performs the most task of the computer. Now, CU controls the CPU itself. The control unit, it is the coordinator, like the coordinator in any event in schools, offices, or the supervisor. Let's say he will not do anything if you see, no, if you notice again. The supervisor in a hotel room or an event, he just asks some other people to, oh, you go and do this, you go and do that. Have you noticed supervisor become the owner? Just it's supervisor. It's just checks out everything goes smoothly or not. Just gives
Yes,
instruction to
sir.
other people. Okay, that is your task. You have to do it anyhow. So this CU is also similar to that. It's the controller. It's the coordinator. It will also always tell other units. It will tell input unit. Okay, it's your time to enter the data. Or give the data. Enter the data. Okay, I got the data. Hey, memory unit. The data is being entered. Please accept that. Okay, memory unit, transfer it to ALU for calculation. ALU, you got the answer, go give it back to MU. MU, you got the answer, give it to the output unit. So everything is controlled by CU. You can see the lines of it, two types of line, control and data. Data refers to the values which are being processed. Control refers to instructions. Now, as I told in the beginning, sometime back, okay, uh, I use the term boss. Bosses are also of three types. They are data bus, address bus, and control bus. So data bus carries data signals. Address bus, it carries the address bus, the memory address, memory location where the data has to be stored. Sarah, are you okay? Then control bus will tell what to do with the given data. Alright. So now here you can see from the input unit, the data travels to the CPU. CPU actually it goes to memory unit. From memory unit, this arrow should come up to here. Okay. From memory unit, it goes to ALU for processing purpose. From ALU, it comes back again, right? After it comes back to primary, now if it is necessary, it can be sent to secondary storage. Oh, if sometimes processing purpose, you need the data or instruction you can purchase from secondary source. So from data secondary from secondary memory, it cannot directly go to ALU. It has to go to primary memory first. So after the result is obtained from primary memory, it goes to output unit. So again, see, from ALE, it doesn't go to output. It goes to memory, primary memory first of all. Then it goes to output. This is how the data travels in your computer. Data doesn't go to control unit. All other units are affected by the data. It is travel, right? The control signals, it comes from CU to every all unit. So it comes from CU to input unit. It tells the input unit to enter data. Oh, it comes from CU to memory unit. It tells the memory unit, okay, oh, the arrow is over here, memory. Okay, the something is being pressed. It goes to ALU. Oh, memory unit has transferred your data, process it. It goes to output unit. Okay, memory unit has given you output display on the screen. Everything, instructions, all the command, all the control statements are done from the CU. This is the task of CU. This figure is a very good figure. Okay, any questions so far? We have around 8 minutes now. After 6 minutes, I'll tell you something interesting. Now let's move on to this file again. After control unit, okay, this figure we have input unit, output unit, process unit. I've discussed about them before. ALU, MU. I think this is it. Okay, if you see this file, you'll be able to understand. Okay. Okay. Uh, any questions so far from this lesson? If you have
No, sir.
understood, if you have any concern, you can ask me. You can see the video also. Though I haven't seen myself. It should be a good one. Oh my God, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More than 10 people lost, vanished. Kota harasan yo. Suyes, Saugat, Udita. Which one is Udita? Hangcha, Pramod, Sivans, Arsia, Arju, Arun. Even Rajiv, you have turned off your camera. Kina, why? Grisma, Oho, Tsunami, Aryaman. Please keep it on. Now I have a question for everyone. Okay, in how many subjects have you so far given test, mock test? Social and Nepali? Is it proceed?
Yes, sir. Social and Nepali ma every class we have a warm up test.
Okay, every class. Okay, that's good. Okay,
Yes,
no
sir.
problem. Fixa. Then today I also have a small mock test for you. Our this Zoom session is going to end after 6 minutes. Mm, you, you will reconnect after that. All right. Okay. For you, the test is only from the first two lessons. Next week I'll take from the next two lessons, that is programs and programming language, and algorithm and flowchart. For today, only two lessons. That is types of computer and keyboard.
Sir,
Hmm.
त्यो त्यसले भन्छ राइट क्वेसनहरू टिक गर्ने टाइप्सको आउँछ हो राइट आन्सरहरू लाइक राइट आन्सरहरूमा टिक गर्ने आउँछ हो
Most of them. Okay.
Multiple choice questions.
MCQ. Okay. Okay. To everyone in the meeting, so there are 39. Oh, got it. Again, 44 participants. Okay, I have 10 questions in this. In this mock test, sample test. You will get 10 minutes for that. Okay, 10 questions, 10 minutes. If you have to type something, you have to type in capital letter. I had mentioned it in the test itself as well. भर्खर आउँदैछ कोही कोही ल I will end the meeting after I send you the link. You can. It's 1:41 in my clock. 1:55. 1:55 मा म reconnect गर्छु and show you your result. Okay. Okay. Here it comes now.